trying to catch it. He probably used to that shit at the crib, you know?
Oh, it went in the grease. That is fraud.
Oh, some of these people on this list right here are not the best people. This is what happens to your food when you're not looking. You know what I'm saying? Look, a lot of y'all that like to go through drive-thrus, man, and have attitudes with people and stuff like that, this video right here is probably going to like make you start doing things a little bit differently. Because I know if I'm in the car with you, you're ordering something aggressively, I don't want none. And this video is made for entertainment and educational purposes. But look, man, let's get into this video, man. Hopefully y'all having a good day. If not, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. We got
McMaggots.
oh,
McDonald's, everyone's favorite. And for good reason, too. They have all the classics. Big Macs, McNuggets, McMaggots. I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. Oh wait, McMaggots? Well, unfortunately, this was the case for one unlucky customer in 2019. This Aussie's day was promptly ruined as he tucked into his scrumptious burger, only to find an infestation of maggots writhing inside his meal. Now, I'm sure you can imagine how disgusted the guy was, but let's just roll the clip captured at that very moment anyway, and see his reaction. Wow.
you gotta be out there with all the wind and shit.
Look at him, you can see him moving. That is absolutely disgusting.
That's terrifying.
2018, and this is the kind of health conditions that I have to accept from McDonald's. Not happy at all. Look at them all. How many burgers have I eaten from you people?
Wow,
Stop eating that
he
shit.
really wasn't happy. But that's totally understandable. I mean, seeing those little maggots wriggling in and out of the meat. Blech. And even worse, he'd already eaten some of it. Poor fella. Except he's not the only one. Yep, an Australian mom found herself cringing at these critters after buying her young son a Happy Meal. After posting the incident online and vowing to never touch fast food again, the mom's accusations were undermined by the fast food giant themselves, as McDonald's claimed, "It is very unlikely this occurred in our restaurant. We have great confidence in our food safety and handling procedures." Which roughly translates to, who, me? Nope, couldn't possibly have been my fault. So while it seems the Golden Arches vehemently denies McMaggots are actually being served, the evidence seems to suggest otherwise. Only one thing remains certain. Not all Happy Meals have happy endings.
I wonder though, like, how does that happen though? Like, how does the maggots like get to a real person? Like, how long has that patty been fucking sitting there? Because you gotta think, bro. When that patty's just sitting there, it doesn't even decay. It doesn't even decay. So how the where did the maggots come from? Maggots want to eat that shit? Crazy.
Bird food. In 2015, shoppers at the Walmart in Chicopee, Massachusetts were astonished to find a peckish group of sparrows pecking away at the grocery store meat.
Oh, so yeah, that shit goes in the trash. Wow. Wow.
In their defense, I've always thought minced beef looks a little like worms, so they were probably just confused. Still, Rhonda Kitchen, the woman who captured the disgusting scene, stated that she'll never buy food from there ever again. And seeing those little beaks pecking away at the raw meat, who can blame her? Walmart officials responded to the situation saying, the impacted product was immediately removed from shelves and disposed of. Professionals were also brought in to remove the birds. In all, 17 birds were trapped and released. So with their meat heist brought to a halt, Walmart may have won this time, but it's only a matter of time before the birds attack again. Sleep with one eye open, Walmart. You too, Rhonda. But do you know?
I'm gonna say it like this, man. You already in a bad predicament if you're buying meat from Walmart. Like, that's like buying milk from like the dollar store or some shit. Like, I always felt that was like real weird. You know, so you're already taking a chance with your health from getting this shit from Walmart in the first place. But okay, to each his own.
Who doesn't need to shop among the filthy meat-eating birds of Walmart?
I've been there.
Oh,
Ain't gonna lie.
Lord.
I don't know.
And luckily enough, you can become a lord or lady for yourself, thanks to today's sponsor, Established Titles. Based on an old Scottish custom where landowners are officially referred to as lord or lady, this awesome company allows people to become the lords they truly are by purchasing as little as 1 square foot of land in Aberdeenshire, Scotland. In doing so, Established Titles aims to preserve the beautiful woodlands of Scotland and to support charities like Trees for the Future and planting a tree with every purchase. Best of all, you can officially change your name to Lord or Lady, meaning it'll be shown on things like your credit card and plane tickets. And let me tell you, since I officially became Lord Amazeballs, I've had a lot of special treatment. So if you or someone you know is a Lord or Lady at heart, make the most of the Valentine's sale running right now and sign up using my code BeAmazed for a 10% discount on any purchase. Go to Established.titles.com/BeAmazed to get your hands on the best last-minute gift idea of all time. Now, your lordship.
Hey, put your Lord name in the comments down below. I'm Lord Stevenson. You feel me? Look, let's just keep it real.
Back to something a little less high class.
Get one.
Deep Fried Rat. Coming to theaters this fall. Ratatouille 2, The Great Grease Trap. Set in a Texas Whataburger, this heartwarming tragedy tells the tale of a little rat who made his way into a restaurant in 2019 and met his fate in the deep fryer. And while I don't think Pixar will be picking this script up anytime soon...
Hold up. I know I see. What in the fuck? What is that? Wow. Never seen that before. Not seen it.
Pixar will be picking this script up anytime soon. Seriously.
Who told me that was okay to go to work like that?
The story is still a mixture of hilarious and a little sad. Oh, and it's 100% true. And I've got the footage to prove it. Between me and you, here's a little premiere.
Oh, man, that mode is chilling, bro.
Can I just pick it up?
Oh, man. Oh, this girl finna try to catch this.
As he quickly became the center of attention, this little guy seemed to get stage fright and tried to scurry out of sight. But the lady in the pink had other ideas.
Work it, bro. Oh, Lord.
Trying to catch it. He probably used to that shit at the crib, you know?
Oh, it went in the green. That is fraud, guys.
As they tussled, the rat decidedly took a leap of faith right into the fryer. Southern fried rat, anybody? Understandably, the customers were a little disgruntled.
That shit crazy. Immediately, you gotta leave, bro.
Deep fried rat. Oh. Come on. Oh, dog. Oh, man.
Try to get him out.
Seen it all.
After sacrificing the rat to the fast food gods, pandemonium broke loose with equal parts of disgust and amusement. All the while, some poor rat was getting crispier by the second. It probably comes as no surprise that this rodent restaurant was closed, cleansed, and cleared of any of Little Stanley's family. Oh yeah, I named him. R.I.P. Stanley. Is this vegan? Back in 2018, a group of hungry diners made reservations at Carlini, a restaurant in England where Chef Laura Goodman cooks the meals. They ate their food and left, but the following evening, Laura posted this to Facebook. Pious, judgmental vegan, who I spent all day cooking for, has gone to bed, still believing she's a vegan. Which, reading between the lines, would lead most people to assume that Laura adulterated their food with animal produce. From an ethical standpoint, this is clearly out of line. But even worse, the vegan customer might well have even had special dietary requirements or allergies governing their veganism. Although this chef initially bragged that she'd spiked a vegan a few hours ago, she soon retracted these statements, instead claiming, "I am really deeply sorry. There was no meat products added to the dishes." Of course, her attempt to backpedal in the face of being exposed wasn't quite sufficient, and ultimately she resigned. So fear not, vegans. She won't be striking again.
I mean, look, she had to resign with them buttery teeth that she had. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Chinese street food. Street food is tasty, inexpensive, and provides flavorsome offerings from all different countries and cultures. However, it seems some people have maybe interpreted the phrase street food too literally. A San Francisco Chinese restaurant, Lucky River, faced scrutiny back in 2014 after being caught beating their meat on the sidewalk.
Beating the meat on the sidewalk? Oh, look, I ain't gonna say nothing. But this nigga's really beating the meat on
When
the
confronted
sidewalk.
about why one of its staff members was slamming totally uncovered meat onto the sidewalk, management explained they were simply trying to tenderize it, with reports claiming that the street they were pounding onto was filled with cigarette butts, gum, and general grime, and with other rumored health code violations under their belt. It's no surprise that Lucky River was soon under the microscope. They were issued an order to rectify the problems and retrain staff or face closure. And while I'd like to tell you an inspiring story about the underdog who proved them all wrong, I won't be. From my research, they appear to be permanently closed.
Yes, exactly.
Which really is probably for the best.
Thank you. I was about to say that though. They shouldn't look, I understand you give chances to people, but when you play on people's health and stuff like that, it should be different regulations on beating the meat on the sidewalk. It sounds crazy even saying this shit, but he's beating the meat on the sidewalk and then, look, man, if they would have opened that shit back up, man, look, we would have had to protest that.
Employee of the Month. This next food hygiene horror story comes from Redditor, Not a Terminator, who explains his shocking experience as an assistant cook at an unspecified restaurant. 2 weeks into the job, he went to grab a can of tomato sauce out of the cupboard, only to be greeted by, in his words, a huge-ass tarantula. Now, if it was me, I'd have run a mile. But Not a Terminator decided to make his boss aware of this 8-legged lodger. After expressing his concern, the boss replied, I see you've met Eduardo. Yep, apparently his boss kept the spider there as a means to warn off pests and rodents. And while I'm sure Eduardo was a hard worker, I'd definitely rather the restaurant I'm eating at not keep a tarantula in their cupboards.
Right.
And if there's truth to the Redditor's tale, I'm pretty sure the Department of Health would agree.
What's wrong with them?
Horsemeat scandal. If you cast your mind back to 2013, you might recall the notorious scandal about grocery store meat being adulterated with horse meat. That's right, in parts of Europe, meat advertised as beef was found after investigations to contain as much as 100% of undeclared horse meat. On top of that, it was also confirmed that a smaller number of beef products actually contained pork, which from an ethical standpoint meant that several religious groups were likely to have been misled from their dietary requirements. Causing international outrage, the scandal affected almost everyone, from grocery stores to consumers, and from the meat industry to the wider economy. But where did the horse meat actually come from? Turns out investigators found Willie Selton.
Who the fuck is out here killing horses and then putting it into the goddamn... How did that even get into the system, bro?
A Dutch meat wholesaler guilty on accounts of forging invoices and labels, resulting in him selling 300 tons of horse meat labeled as beef. Selton insisted that the horse meat he supplied was only intended for pet food, but somehow ended up being used for burgers. While the naysayers aren't so quick to believe this alibi, it still remains unclear who is exactly to blame. Going forward, European governments promise stricter procedures requiring retailers and producers to publish meaningful tests on their meat. That said, according to the BBC, Willie was only sentenced to 2.5 years in 2015. Meaning at the time of this video, he's probably back out there meddling with meat. Check your burgers, folks.
My question is, did he get to keep the money, the profit that he made off of that shit? Because obviously if he sold, 200 ton, 300 ton? Come on. He got like millions? But for the people out here that ate that horse meat, how that shit taste? You feel me?
Taco taster. I'll reluctantly admit it. Taco Bell is pretty tasty. And if I worked there, I'd find it hard not to eat the food myself. Turns out that one of their employees also felt the same.
Yeah, I remember.
In a picture posted to Facebook in 2013, the employee can be seen licking a stack of those delicious taco shells. After the photo went viral, Taco Bell HQ unsurprisingly didn't see the funny side to the pic, as they promptly suspended and subsequently fired the employee responsible. However, you might be pleased to know that these shells were not given to customers. In fact, they were headed for the garbage anyway. But when it comes down to it, Taco Bell have a brand
I thought it was more than that to
licking tacos, well, that doesn't fit the brief. But this isn't the only gross thing to happen behind the counter of Taco Bell. Another former employee sealed his own fate in 2012 when he posted a picture on social media of him urinating onto a tray of nachos. In the end, this taco tinkler was dismissed from the restaurant, but there still remains so many questions. Like, if you ask me, that stream of pee looks a little off-center to be actually coming from his, trouser snake, suggesting it might be juice coming from a bottle, which would be a somewhat pleasant relief. But whether it was a harmless prank or not, one thing's for sure. When employees are up to mischief, the Taco Bell shall soon toll for them.
But then you gotta think, if he was holding the phone, it would be at that angle because he got it in his right hand. So I don't know. Could be real. I think.
Secret shoppers. Is there anything better than the enticing aroma of freshly baked goods? Croissants, pain au chocolat, cookies. Who can resist? Well, after you see them being nibbled on by rodents, they're slightly less seductive. Yep, in 2021 at a Sainsbury's supermarket in Essex Road, London, these rats seem to be enjoying their continental breakfast to the horror of onlookers. The captured video quickly caught the interest of the British public, and Sainsbury's immediately took action, closing the store for a visit from the cleaners and pest control. Sainsbury's assured its customers that safety and hygiene is the most important thing to them. Though with that video in existence, I think it'll take a while to regain the public's trust. Ironically, the store recently rebranded their slogan to "Helping everyone eat better," which apparently includes rats too. But jokes aside, keeping the rodents at bay can be an impossible task. Some sources claim that in built-up areas, you're never more than 20 feet away from a rat. And with even the most defensive measures in place, where there's food, rodents are to be expected to some degree. In fact, U.S. food law factors rodents into their sales safety legislation, with 11 rodent hairs allowed per 25 grams of paprika, 4.5 hairs per 225 grams of noodles, and 4 hairs per 25 grams of curry powder, among others. So while I could give Sainsbury's
like why those regulations, bro, that's so weird for me, man. Like, who fucking came up with that formula, bro, for the hairs, man? Our standards are just so trash.
The benefit of the doubt for their rat problem, I'll still think twice about buying unpackaged baked goods. That's not what I ordered. As horrifying as it is to find gross stuff in your food, in 2008, New Yorker John Agnesini found something totally unexpected inside his Subway sandwich. John was horrified when he tucked into his sandwich only to find a 7-inch knife baked into it. Luckily, John managed to spot the unsolicited sandwich filling before it did a number on his mouth. But while John wasn't wounded by the knife, its filthy plastic handle had partially melted into the sandwich, causing John to become violently ill for 3 hours. But how could this possibly have happened? Perhaps some half-asleep employee haphazardly misplaced their knife in John's sandwich? It's unclear whether this was a genuine mistake or a terrible practical joke, but either way, it seems John got the last laugh as he was awarded a hefty $1 million in compensation. Which, if you ask me, sounds totally worth the 3 hours of vomiting.
Hell yeah! Hey look, vomiting is one of the worst things you can do, bro. I hate throwing up, but for $1 million, yeah, I'll throw it for 3 hours. Instantly. Well, how y'all feel in the comments down below?
Teriyaki intruder. By this point in the video, you probably realize rats love food. So much so that sometimes they become the food. Yep, in 2019...
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'll be looking at the most crazy shit, bro. Like, hey, look at Jamie Foxx's forehead. Why is it so small right here, bro? And then it's so high up top. Boy, look. Hey, man, whoever did that shit to you, G, you need to whoop their ass.
Sometimes they become
Fire
the food.
them.
Yep. In 2019, when Deyanira Cortez bought her daughter a portion of teriyaki chicken from the Ohio restaurant, Yihi, Japan, she was horrified to realize that some of the chicken was actually a baby rat. Deyanira's daughter's friend, who spotted the teriyaki intruder, immediately went to the bathroom to vomit and lost her appetite for days. Take a look at the clip. I think you might just feel the same.
Yeah.
Esto es increíble. Miren lo que acabo de encontrar aquí en esto. Una rata cocinada. Oh my God, qué asquerosidad. Mira, está cocinada. La cara, oh my God.
That's crazy to me. How?
No.
This cooked rat rests in pieces in the meal, and just seeing its severed body and exposed guts is enough to put anybody off teriyaki chicken for life. After taking to social media to warn people about the Japanese restaurant, Deyanira's viral video prompted health officials to inspect and subsequently close the Ohio restaurant. Ironically, they failed to find any further evidence of rodents in the building, though they did spot flies, cockroaches, and sewage backing up through the floor drains. I'm not sure which is worse, the cooked rat or the presence of poop in the kitchen where they were cooking the rats. Let me know what you think in the comments.
You telling me like them cooks missed the whole damn
Filthy
rat though?
Chinese restaurant. If that last story didn't convince you that restaurants don't always have the cleanest kitchens, then this next one definitely will. In 2015, deep cleaner William Panzino uploaded a video tour of a grimy restaurant in Littleton, New Hampshire, called Asian Garden. Having cleaned this kitchen just 3 months prior to the video, Panzino was certainly unimpressed to say the least. The whole kitchen is coated with grime and dripping grease due to a lack of regular basic cleaning, alongside intense cooking with oil. As you may know, oil isn't water soluble, so when it evaporates, it creates a thin layer of grease wherever it comes into contact. This sticky residue then invites dust, dirt, and bacteria to stick to it. Repulsed by the state of the kitchen, William posted the video online, which has since accumulated over 3 million views. And as expected, many were quick to express their disgust at the restaurant's hygiene standards. One user even wrote, "I'm on a diet right now. I'm going to watch this video every time I have the urge to eat unhealthy. So far, it's worked like a charm. Ha! I might just have to give that a try." The Centipede and the Scorpion.
That's why I be telling y'all, look, man, be self-sufficient, bro. And then, honestly, bro, once you learn how to cook, you're not gonna want to eat out like that because your food is gonna taste better. A lot of these restaurants, bro, they lose what they stood for in the beginning of starting that business. You know, some people want to start it because they genuinely want to cook for people, and then their restaurant grows and they start getting more business, get more busy. They lose sight of that. They getting all this money, and then on top of that, you know, their restaurant become dirty, unused. You know, some people are just like that, man. I'm in for the wrong reasons. I start mine. I'm here for the people. I'm actually gonna be working in my restaurant. I'm not gonna be sitting back just let my shit go to shit. I want to build the best restaurants. One of my goals. But look, man, crazy. That's just disrespectful. These opportunity to do this, and then they serving people bullshit. My kitchen. Crazy. Big on that.
For most, it's a pretty standard procedure to wash fruit and veg before eating it. What with it being grown outdoors, who knows how many germs could be lurking, right? Or scorpions and centipedes, for that matter. One person in 2019 came across these aforementioned creepy crawlies in their long-sought fruit and shared the cringe-worthy footage of them scuttling about.
Oh, centipedes too? Oh, the scorpions, bro. Look, I got some scorpions I can show y'all. That's a poisonous one too. That one right there. You got a possibility of killing you, but you're just gonna get
Safe to say,
sick.
I wouldn't be in the mood for long-sought fruit after seeing that. This video was posted anonymously, so there's little information available. But what I can tell you is long-sought fruit and scorpions are pretty common in the Philippines. So if you're in the area, I'd wash my fruit very thoroughly if I were you. Cheddar Chomper. Who doesn't love a little try before you buy? This rat, minding his own business, trying a little bit of cheese before he takes it to the checkout to pay for it, certainly seems to. Christopher Allison, who filmed this clip, is probably more of a buy now, try later kind of guy, as he decided to rat this little shopper out when he saw him chomping some cheese in an Illinois Food for Less store in 2019.
Look at that.
He looks malnourished and shit.
We got a rat eating cheese and food for less.
While Christopher maintained a lighthearted attitude about the situation, Food for Less weren't so lax and made it known that they dealt with the issue at hand by destroying the affected goods, sanitizing the display, and of course having this unwelcome shopper escorted out of the building. Aw, they didn't even give him a chance to pay. KFC's secret ingredient? Ah, KFC, famed for its uniquely delicious taste. Legend has it that the secret KFC formula is made up of 11 top-secret herbs and spices, but maybe their unique flavor is attributed to something entirely different. In 2013, one KFC employee was pictured licking some of their delicious mashed potatoes, which leads me to think, is this what gives their food that special zing? I'm just playing around. With this picture in mind, who knows what other revolting shenanigans go on behind the counter. That said, KFC did clarify that nothing is more important to KFC than food safety. The employee involved was immediately terminated. So yeah, perhaps licking the food isn't the special ingredient. Or maybe it is, and anyone who reveals that fact gets terminated. I'd better watch my back, in case the colonel cometh. Burger King Creepers. Back in 2018, a Burger King franchise came under fire for having a rat-infested kitchen, and it was bad. Upon inspection, live rats were found and they'd laid a few big whoppers of their own. In the burger buns, dry storage, and even the ice machines.
Them shits be
Chantel
shitting
Johnson,
everywhere.
an employee of the store, came face to face with the new employees and decided to capture this short clip of the moment. Gross, right? And I can't help but wonder just how long these guys were here. Or even worse, how many more burger buns they snuggled themselves into. The
Exactly.
video went viral and the fast food chain made sure to react quick. After Chantel had encouraged people to not eat at the restaurant, the premises closed for 3 days to ensure everything was spick and span, ready to welcome back hungry customers and hopefully not hungry rats.
Y'all want to know the crazy part about this is this company knew they had fucking rats before that. See, it's only when they get called out that they want to change things and stuff like that. As much money that these restaurants make from people, they always feel some type of way about putting money back into the business until they get called out, bro. That shit's crazy to me. It's backwards.
Eats for all.
Baffles me.
One of the greatest triumphs of mankind undoubtedly is the rise of food delivery services, such as Uber Eats. It's never been so easy to have your favorite meals delivered to your doorstep, or rather, some of your favorite meal. Let me explain. It turns out you shouldn't be too trusting of the person delivering your food. In 2021, TikTok creator @Sarah from Florida shared a video showing an Uber Eats employee tucking into a customer's food and piling it up in his own little doggy bag before packaging the rest back up for delivery.
Wow! I've never seen nothing I wondered if that happens. It does. You're caught, brother. He's stealing. Oh. Yeah, you supposed to pour that in the noodles.
Shockingly, the employee loads his own Tupperware box, seals all the packaging back up, hops on his bike, and gets on with delivering the food to the customer, who was probably waiting excitedly, unaware of who tucked into their food first. This sly guy didn't go unpunished, though. In fact, it was later reported that he was fired, which, considering those sticky fingers of his, shouldn't come as any surprise. More concerning, though, is how many other delivery employees are out there doing this, flying under the radar, yet to be caught. Could you be getting a half-size portion? Maybe so, but on the bright side, it could be worse. After all, if I were a delivery driver, well, I hate to break it to you, but there would be nothing left to deliver.
Hey, look, we had a guy like that when I worked at Domino's, man. We had a dude, it was an older dude, big fat dude, right? He used to get the food and he used to eat people's pepperonis and shit off their pizza. He used to intentionally not deliver pizzas to people or say that the people didn't want it and the people never even heard from this. He used to sit in the parking lot around the corner and used to boxes of pizza off the chain, bro. Fire him, though.
Now, this next story is one that just keeps getting worse as it goes along, and is not for the faint of heart. You've been warned. It comes from Redditor Wobbles Mama and begins with her uncle, a health inspector in Australia. He received reports of a fish and chip shop that was apparently very dirty and serving food with chunks of hair in it. He went and inspected the restaurant unannounced, only to be greeted by the owner, a very hairy and sweaty man wearing a t-shirt, shorts, and no shoes. Her uncle concluded that the source of hair must have been coming from the cook and advised him to wear proper garments. He also suggested changing the oil in the fryer as it was filthy and likely contaminated with all his hair. So the cook got to draining the oil right away while Wombles' uncle was still present, only to find something he'd misplaced a while back. His cat. That's right, his dead, deep-fried, and crispy cat, as Wobbles Mama so eloquently described it. And the cook's reaction? Oh, that's where my cat went. You don't say. The Redditor concluded by clarifying that the hair people had been finding in their food wasn't the man's, but in her own words, the fur and flesh of a dead cat. Yep, some pretty heavy stuff. Just be grateful you're not one of the poor people who had complained about those mysterious clumps of hair in their food. Truly the stuff of nightmares.
That's crazy.
McButts. It's out.
Hold on. How do you fucking get, hold on. So you telling me, we just gonna breeze past that, he was serving people fucking basically essentially cat cooked into their damn food. Stop eating out, y'all.
I'm loving it, and end with I'm scratching it. In 2016, this McDonald's employee was caught butt-handed while preparing a customer's order, and the customer made sure to capture the moment. TikToker at Relikiss has since removed the clip. However, in the original post titled McNasty, you can clearly see this employee having a good old rummage around down there.
Excuse me, ma'am, can I get my large fry? Okay.
The guy interrupts her while she's in the zone, and she's clearly not happy. As soon as her hand resurfaces from her rear end, she grabs some fries and hands them to the guy with the same hand. Yuck. Looks like this employee could have used an extra tool for the job.
Butt scratcher! Butt scratcher! Butt scratcher!
So anyway, what does McDonald's have to say about all this? They stated, "These videos clearly do not reflect expectations McDonald's and our franchisees have of crew members, and we deeply regret the concern they have caused." So clearly having a rummage around in your undercarriage isn't part of their training program. So that's a relief, I guess. They say don't bite the hand that feeds you, and let me tell you, after seeing where that hand had been, I certainly won't.
Yeah, that's just crazy, bro. You got people out here that's really like that. Don't ever get it messed up. You know what I'm saying? Like, if somebody gonna make my food, only how I can do that, bro, I have to like visually, I have to inspect this. I have to be there to see. Like, you know, people make your food and shit. I be paying attention. Dude, get to the point where I do need to order something. Because that shit right there is crazy, bro. You can get sick from that shit she was doing. But look, man, hopefully I got something from this, man. I'll see you on the next video. And like I always say, man, go ahead, subscribe to my channel, man. Especially if y'all made it this far, man. Shout out to my OGs that hold me down. But look, I'll see you on the next video. I always say, spread love, because love you guys. See you.